This is South Florida's only weekend talk show. It's Weekends with Karen Curtis, live on News Talk 850 WFTL. Here's Karen.
Welcome back. All right, and also I wanted to talk about the Tea Party, and we had the Shirley Sherrod situation this week, and that fiasco that President Obama ended up having to call her and apologize, and she worked for the Agriculture Department for a small rural section of it. I shouldn't say small because she handled, it was $1 billion, several $1 billion that she was in charge of for this area in Georgia. But she had been speaking to the NAACP, and some of her words were taken out of context, and she was let go of her position and then offered a new position after it was revealed that she indeed was trying to be, to show how racism is a problem rather than that she was the problem. So Marco Sendon joins us now with SouthFloridaConservative.com. And how is it that the Tea Party is racist? Because that's really what started this whole thing, everyone putting racism under the microscope.
Well, I think that's really the convenient excuse to try and divide and conquer a movement that's really growing beyond what they believe is the purviews of their control. If you look at it, their main bone to pick, if you will, with the Tea Party and calling us racist was this incident where they claim that they were shouting the N-word at some congressman and they were spitting at him. Yet Jesse Jackson Jr. and a bunch of cameras were all over the place, and not one person can produce a clip of audio or a clip of video to substantiate in any way, shape, or form that occurred. Now, that's not to say that everybody in the Tea Party is an angel. I'm sure that in every movement you can find, there's going to be people that are, just a little bit out there. And the problem with the NAACP at this point is that they're trying to broad brush an entire movement simply because they feel threatened by the fact that the Tea Party is really a movement of common, ordinary folks that just wants to stand up for the Constitution, the values and principles of this country, and want to take it back to a place where we're not spending our way into bankruptcy. We're not leading by, let's say, a popular whim, or we're not governed by liberal values that are going to stifle the Constitution.
Well, we weren't helped. The Tea Party wasn't helped by Mark Williams, the head of the group called Tea Party Express in California, who posted a letter to his website that it really caused problems. Quote unquote, we coloreds have taken a vote and decided that we don't cotton to the whole emancipation thing. I mean, he was asked to step down, and that was per the NAACP's request that the Tea Party get rid of people who were racist.
Well, I'm sure that pretty much, like I said, in every movement you could find somebody that really was not what they advertised or how they said they were going to behave. Unfortunately, this gentleman went off the deep end, and geez, if that's the way you're gonna believe, and that's the way you're gonna carry yourself, then I agree you should be off this movement, because this movement is not about an individual. It's not about Barack Obama. It's about the policies of Barack Obama. It's not about a skin color. It's not about a person. It's about bringing sanity back to the government. It's by observing smaller government, lower taxes, and adhering to the Constitution. This is really much more than about a single person. And it's the message that, by and large, you're going to find that most Tea Parties across this land are broadcasting. Certainly, that's the message that we espouse. I mean, this movement is way bigger than one person, which is why we don't have somebody at the central head of the movement to begin with. We want to make sure that people know that this is a movement by the people and for the people.
The New York Daily News informally polled its readers whether or not racism is to blame for the Tea Party attacks on Obama. And as of July 18th, 75% of respondents agree that racism is at play in the Tea Party's disapproval of the president. Now, let's listen to Joe Biden, though, who says that it's quite the contrary. That's track one.
I don't believe, the president doesn't believe, that the Tea Party is a racist organization. I don't believe that. Very conservative, very different views on government and a whole lot of things, but it is not a racist organization.
All right, well, there you have it.
Well, and that's true, and he is saying it the way it is. We're not a racist organization. Yes, we don't adhere to government the way they believe government should function. We don't believe that government should be the sunrise and the sunset of your existence. However, if you recall, I'm sure you can find a clip in the primary, the Democrat primary in 2008, where Joe Biden was saying that, well, Barack Obama is really a terrific fellow. For a black guy, he's neat, clean, and articulate.
Oh, boy.
And, those were the words of Joe Biden, not of the Tea Party, but yet nobody was rushing to call him a racist.
Well, one of the arguments, the Tea Party members are persistently claiming that Obama isn't a U.S. citizen because they can't accept that the guy is a black guy with a funny name running the country. But
that's what Barack Obama says. I'm a funny guy with a funny name. That's what he is trying to inject as the invective here. The Tea Party movement, by and large, does not even want to consider that fact because it's much more important at this point to deal with the president on his policies, on what he wants to do to try, in his words, to transform the United States of America. That's where the Tea Party comes out and tries to go toe-to-toe with the president, not because of anything else, but because of the policies that he wants to implement on the country that, as we believe and as he has said, wants to change his country from what it was constitutionally to an entity that we very well will not recognize one morning when we wake up.
And plus, if Hawaii would just give us the long-form birth certificate, then it would all go away.
Well, that's true, but again, the crux of the matter is, and I can very well speak by my organization, he is president. He is our president, period. That's all there is to it. And we have to deal with the fact that he has policies that we do not agree with. And that, constitutionally, is our argument. I don't really think at this point it's relevant to the sense that this should be the central focus of our movement. What I think is relevant is that we should focus on the incredible stupidity that was financial regulation, on the crushing burdens that Obamacare is going to bring upon this country, on the crushing taxes that are going to take effect on the 1st of January, and on all the saddling of government regulation and the burden on entrepreneurs and people that want to make this economy work. That is the central function of the Tea Party. Whereas a question that somebody may or may not have about his birth certificate really pales into insignificance with the dangers constitutionally that are presented by the policies of Barack Obama and by the Democrat Party.
And if you want to call in, 877-850-8585, Marco Sendon from the SouthFloridaConservative.com website. What else do you have going on? I know you have a couple of events coming up that are key for some of the elections that are about to happen.
Absolutely, yes. On August 6th, which is a Friday, at 7 o'clock in the evening, in a restaurant called Havana, Miami. The address there is 8800 Miller Drive. We're going to have Bill McCullum come in, and he is going to be our guest. He'll state his platform, but more importantly, afterwards, he'll be there, and he's agreed to submit to all our questions because we have many for Mr. McCullum. We want to know the perspective of his candidacy. We want to know more about him and what he plans to do as governor. And we're going to have a way to do that in an unscripted fashion where the membership and our subscribers could be satisfied one way or another whether or not he deserves to be the next governor. Our second event, which is the big one, is on August 14th, which will be at Tropical Park. We have the big summer picnic where over 30 candidates, from the governor candidates all the way down to the state candidacies, including Miami-Dade Commission candidates, will be in attendance. It'll be a great picnic, all registered voters. We'll have complimentary food and soft drinks.
Wow.
And if you're not registered, we're going to register you there. And here's something very exciting as well. If you're planning to go or wanting to go on August 28th to be part of the assembly at the Lincoln Memorial and you don't have a means to get there, we're raffling off a complete trip, airfare and hotel, at the picnic. All you have to do to be a part of the raffle is to become a member of South Florida Conservative. You're automatically entered into the raffle, and not only that, we'll have some other prizes as well to raffle off there. It should be a terrific afternoon of fellowship, friendship, and family.
All right, wonderful. Don't go away, Marcos. You're listening to Weekends with Karen Curtis. More coming up in just a moment.